prey on victims. And the Carthage Chamber of Commerce hosts a Women in Business luncheon. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, scammers online pose as Liberty Utilities to prey on victims. Plus, a bill to enhance sentencing for accessory to murder makes it through the Oklahoma House. And authorities begin an investigation after a body is found in Cherokee County.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Neosho, Missouri police are warning about a new internet billing scam after a resident fell victim to a person posing as a Liberty Utilities bill collector. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Anthony Saviello spoke with police and has more on how you should protect yourself.
It could happen to anyone.
We find that a lot of people that are not familiar with the internet and things like that, the older generation are the ones that are normally falling prey to this.
At any time.
Last week we received information from a victim that he had fallen victim of a new scam. He was contacted by a subject posing as a bill collector for Liberty Utilities.
At your most vulnerable moment.
He was behind on his bill. He knew that, so it seemed more legitimate to him. So he went ahead and processed it.
But there are ways for you to detect whether you are about to be a victim of a scam.
Ask some questions before you just give them some information. We advise everybody that, the first thing you should do is ask a few questions of your own.
Liberty Utilities released in a statement how to find out whether the person on the phone is truly with the company. Liberty says that, quote, if the representative asks for immediate payments, says immediate work needs to be done, or says your utilities will be turned off immediately unless there is a payment, it is very likely they are a scammer. This isn't the first time Lieutenant Mike Sharp has had to deal with residents falling victim to scams.
We were dealing with stuff where they were portraying as law enforcement and calling people and saying, hey, your son is, or nephew or whatever, is in jail. He needs to pay his warrants to get him bailed out, and people would fall for that.
Unfortunately, those who fall victim may never see their money again.
It's too late for them to do anything. They do have their IT department working on it. I haven't heard any updates on that at this time.
In Neosho, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
All of this comes as Liberty is under a state investigation for their billing and customer service. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy now for our first look at the weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. Did get a lot of clouds during the afternoon, but temperature is fantastic. 75 for a high. Started at 55. Look at this. Almost our average high for this time of the year. And we're going to see these great temperatures sticking around. At least the winds are fairly calm for now, but that's going to be changing as we go through the next few days. Not so much tomorrow, more so on Friday. We'll slide back to about 52, rebound 63 by 10 a.m. We have some clouds kind of rotating through. A couple random showers could pop up in our far southern counties, but most of the action is going to stay well to our south as we go through the overnight hours. Near 80 degrees, really continue the next couple days. The winds really get going on Friday. We are going to get some scattered thunderstorms on Friday and then cooling down as well for the weekend. I'll have all those details for you here in just a bit.
See you soon. Laura and Ashley's Law passes the Oklahoma House of Representatives. 25 years ago, 2 16-year-old girls went missing from Welch, Oklahoma. It's a cold case that's outlived 2 of the 3 suspects and is now making waves in the Oklahoma legislature. Today, Representative Steve Bayshore presented Laura and Ashley's Law to the full House of Representatives. House Bill 1001 would require individuals convicted of accessory to murder to serve at least 85% of their sentence. The legislation addresses the reduced prison sentence of Ronnie Busick, who in 2020 was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but because of good behavior and time credited while in county jail, Busick was released after just 3 years in prison. He was released back into the area where he committed his crimes and where family members of the victims still live. Laura Bible's mother, Lorene, was in attendance today at the Capitol. She's been a part of the investigation since day one and still hopes to one day find the bodies of both her daughter and Ashley Freeman.
And she is on a mission, and she's still looking for her daughter, and she's not going to quit until she does. And the least I can do is to try to help her in some way and to give her some satisfaction and some closure at some point.
Laura and Ashley's law passes the House on a vote of 76 to 11. It now moves to the Senate. Authorities are investigating after a man was found dead in Cherokee County, Kansas. The Sheriff's Office and Baxter Springs EMS responded to Southeast Star Road and Highway 69 after a call reported finding the man in a wooded area near there today. The sheriff says they found him near a former semi-truck inspection parking lot. They didn't find any evidence of foul play, and they're withholding the man's name until they can notify his next of kin. An autopsy will be conducted. Firefighters rescued a worker trapped in a stalled cargo elevator at the Blue Buffalo in Joplin. Fire crews used ropes and rigging to safely remove the person through the elevator shaft to the third floor. The worker was not injured, and firefighters say training and teamwork made the rescue a success. Don't blink. That was a car flying through a backyard in the Osceola neighborhood in Webb City. The Webb City Fire Department is asking the public for help in identifying the gray Toyota. Security video shows the car speeding through a wooded backyard, narrowly missing a resident before fleeing the scene. Authorities say the vehicle has heavy driver's side damage. If you recognize it, you see it there in slow-mo. If you recognize it, contact the Webb City Police Department. Students and businesses head to the campus of MSSU for the annual Spring Career Fair. That's coming up. Plus,
women in Carthage get a very powerful message from a very motivational speaker. I'm Lonnie Walton in Carthage. I'll have that story coming up.
the Carthage, Missouri Chamber of Commerce hosted an Empowering Women in Business luncheon today. Author and power coach Anita Brooks spoke during the event. KOIM's Lonnie Walton shares her message.
So I really like to be able to help people, and I think you can do more of that. As with the chamber, you can help all the different businesses, you can help the community.
Stephanie Howard is a chamber member and works with the Carthage Water and Electric. While work can at times be stressful, today she's regaining her strength through this empowering event by power coach Anita Brooks.
As women, we fulfill a lot of different roles, and sometimes one will overcome the other. So I think it's really important when we can find that balance and have help in reaffirming that.
Balancing your life is what Anita Brooks is trying to do. She has a lot of advice on how taking care of your needs can help you become more successful in the workplace. She says that's what builds a strong business.
I want to help increase the income. I want to help prime the profits, and I want to strengthen the sustainability of American businesses because I want American businesses to be strong.
Julie Reams, president of Carthage Chamber, says Brooks isn't only hitting points that help during work.
I think what was talked about today was all of us taking 10 steps back can answer those questions about, death and how to prepare and live our life every day to the fullest.
And if you're wondering how Brooks got all of her wisdom, she says it didn't come from her, but from her faith.
Faith is what gives me the strength and the wisdom and the insight to be able to go into these businesses and actually see things that so many other people overlook.
And Howard says she's taken all this advice to heart.
I try to take those top 4 and work that into my daily life.
Reporting in Carthage, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
One of the biggest teaching points Brooke emphasized is making sure you keep up with your friendships and follow your goals before it's too late. Missouri Southern State University was a hot spot for future careers today. They held their annual Spring Career Fair with more than 100 companies attending. Students explored careers and graduate school opportunities from networking to turning in resumes. MSSU will also offer students a chance to search for an internship with an expo this fall.
We have employers from a wide variety of organizations from all over the 4-state community, even up to Kansas City, St. Louis, Tulsa, Bentonville, and everywhere in between.
MSSU will also offer students a chance to search for an internship with an expo this fall. Carthage voters have some big decisions to vote on affecting the Carthage School District. One initiative is an operating levy, a tax increase meant to give teachers a pay hike. Superintendent of Carthage Schools says Carthage has the lowest starting teacher salary of any school in the Ozark Conference. It can make it difficult to recruit teachers. The operating levy is a 55-cent tax increase, bringing it from $3.05 to $3.65. The second issue on the ballot is a bond that would go toward building an auditorium for performing arts, including choir, theater, and band students. It'll also include a tornado safety shelter. The superintendent of Carthage Schools says their current auditorium is small and just doesn't have much capacity. This bond would not increase taxes.
More competitive wage. Carthage has recently fallen behind with our salary schedules with our local neighboring school districts, and we're trying to fix that issue.
Early voting has started, and that election is going to be on April 8th. The Seneca Area Fire Protection District is asking voters to approve a tax increase on April 8th. It would be the first tax rate increase for the district since it was created back in 1988. If passed, the increase would nearly double the tax rate to roughly 53 cents per $100 of assessed property valuation. Fire district staff say the needs of the community have grown over the years, and an increase to their yearly budget is necessary to keep their volunteer firefighters safe on calls.
Just looking at today's fires, they're growing 12 times as fast as what they were when we started the district. And so our need to respond quicker with better equipment is today more dire than ever before.
This Saturday, the fire district is hosting an open house for the community where the public can ask questions about that tax increase. Doug returns next with a complete look at your forecast. And a little bit later, the city of Pittsburgh gets a brand new mural outside the Four Oaks RV Park.
See your Mocan Chevy dealer today.
Well, it definitely turned out to be another nice day for us today. Temperatures fantastic across the region. Most of us went into the mid, if not upper 70s, and we don't drop off that much for us tonight. Eventually down to about 52, but here shortly, 11 p.m., 61, and then back to 54 by 7 a.m., 63 by 10 a.m. A lot of clouds kind of rotating through. We have a weak wave passing to our south, and we have had a little bit of severe weather once you get down through eastern Texas, northern parts of Louisiana, and that's where most of the severe weather is going to stay tonight, kind of in this yellow bubble just south of the region. But we can't rule out a random pop-up shower in our far southern counties. Most of you will be not affected from this weak system. Stronger storm system moving into the western third of the country. This system will affect us, especially on Friday. Not so much with showers and thunderstorms, but mainly the wind is really going to return. As it pushes through, the moisture is going to be a little bit limited. We should get some scattered thunderstorms, but the big time severe weather kind of gets going just east of us, especially eastern Missouri down toward Jonesboro and also Memphis. But we will get a few scattered thunderstorms in here, especially on the Missouri side. But luckily, we should not have to deal with much in the way of severe weather. We will have to deal with the wind. Southerly winds tomorrow, not too bad, south 10 to 15. But look at this, they get moving by Friday. We should have gusts 40 to 50, maybe a few 55s out there. Stays very windy Friday evening, then finally the winds start to come down a bit as we get into Saturday. So this is kind of a trash can in the neighbor's yard, or maybe even two houses down type situation. So you probably want to buckle those down just a bit as we get into Friday. All right, let me take you through time. So as we go into the morning hours, most of us low to mid 50s. Not bad. We get some sunshine, especially tomorrow afternoon. Quick warm up. I'll stop this at about 4 p.m. Most of us 79, 80, maybe even 81 degrees. So a fantastic Thursday. Heading into Friday morning, we drop back only upper 50s. And then we warm again, mid 70s. Here's our dry line. So this is early afternoon. A few scattered thunderstorms will start to pop up, but they really don't get moving until they get east of the region. But we should get a few scattered in southwestern Missouri, and then the severe weather will start to take off as it rolls off toward the east. Day planner on your Thursday, 54 in the morning, 71 by noon. Fantastic. High temp 81 degrees. On the colder side of the system by Saturday, we'll be into the 50s, a few showers during the evening, then we should clear out. And Sunday will shape up to be a pretty good day. All right, let's go 81 on your Thursday, 77 on Friday, down into the 50s Saturday and Sunday, but back into the 70s on Monday and Tuesday, just kind of up and down next week with a chance for thunderstorms on Tuesday.
Yeah, but loving those temps, Doug, thanks. The city of Pittsburgh collaborated with a local artist and Pittsburgh Beautiful for a new mural. It's located at the Four Oaks RV Park's restroom. The artist there is Jenna Spencer. Her piece outlines the state of Kansas with the color scheme representing Pittsburgh State University, and she completed it today.
They're eye-catching, and I'm a big fan of community art, and having the passerby see something colorful and maybe inspiring. This also helps welcome people here to Pittsburgh who are staying at the RV park.
Explorer Crawford County now plans to put up a QR code sign that'll lead folks to places to visit, eat, and shop locally. Still ahead, 4 of our local high school basketball teams play in the state quarterfinals, and a couple of McDonald County Mustangs signed to play their sports at the next level. John Dales has those stories and more. It's coming up next.
Kansas Crossing Casino brings
that the solution is there, and they will find it.
For quick, proven pest solutions, call Rattler.
It's state tournament time for high school basketball in Kansas, and a handful of our local teams are in action this afternoon into this evening. We'll start with Colgan boys basketball. Unfortunately, Panthers season comes to a close this afternoon. They fall in the quarterfinals 58-25 to Mound Ridge, who's the #1 seed, defending state champ, and undefeated on the year. Colgan ends the season with a record of 13-11. That'd be a sign of things to come as we go to Class 1A Division I. The girls from Colony Crest also fall to an undefeated 1 seed. That's Little River in the quarterfinals over in Dodge City, 76-27 the final. Now to the girls Class 3A state tournament. Neodesha also comes up short this afternoon. Lady Streaks fall to 2 seed Halstead, 50-33. They finish the season with a record of 18-4. Then later this evening, Girard girls basketball comes up short at the 3A tournament in Hutchinson as well. Lady Trojans fall to the defending state champion Silver Lake, 56-45. They finished the year with just 3 losses, and 2 of those came against the Eagles. Missouri Southern softball has played just 2 home games so far this season, but over the next couple weeks, the Lions play 12 consecutive games, all in Joplin. Lions get that homestand started with a couple of victories this afternoon. They take down Maryville 8-0 in the first end of a doubleheader. Kiki Pickens gets the win in the circle for that one. Then Southern wins 4-3 in the second contest, and we've got highlights from both ends of that doubleheader available to watch on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/sports. Now over to Missouri Southern baseball, taking on Drury. We start in the 4th inning, tied at 2. Drew Townsend ropes one into center field. That's going to fall in for a base hit, and Townsend is going to jog on into second with a stand-up double. However, Lions can't capitalize on the 2-out hit. In the 5th, Southern down 3-2. Braden Lucart starts the inning off with a single into right field. So that gets things going, and then Jacob Phillip lays down a perfect bunt to not only advance the runner, but he's safe at first as well. But later in that frame, runners on second and third, 2 outs. Tragan Parker grounds to the second baseman and gets out at first. Lions just couldn't get their bats going with men in scoring position. Now Babe Russell for Drury up to bat in the 6th with 2 men on. He crushes this pitch deep to right and gone. The 3-run homer makes it 6-2 Panthers. Lions lose this one 7-4. They drop to 12-8 on the season. They'll welcome Arkansas Fort Smith on Friday for a 3-game series. And over at McDonald County High School, it's a very exciting morning for a couple of Mustang student athletes that are headed to the next level. McDonald County High School seniors Anthony D'Amico and Kenzie Horton. Both of them signed letters of intent today. D'Amico is the Mustangs' starting quarterback from their football team. He's headed to Westminster College to continue his football career, and Horton signs with Drury University, where she'll be on both the track and dance teams.
Do whatever I can for the team, be the best I can, work the hardest I can, do whatever the team needs me to do, all that. It's really cool, you know, they grew me up. I've been here since I was born, and So being able to represent them in college, it's just a really cool feeling.
I've always wanted to dance in college, like before I started high school, and then I got to high school and I was doing really good in track, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should run track in college.
And another sports note, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been in first place in the Western Conference pretty much the whole season. Well, tonight they clinch a playoff berth.
Wow.
They're the first team in the West to do so. They beat the Celtics 118-112.
They can maybe back off a little bit now.
Yeah, I guess
Get
so.
some starters ready for the playoffs.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Need a new CPA? Are you looking for a tax preparer who will answer your questions?
Looks like a pretty good night for us tonight and a fantastic Thursday. 81, partly to mostly sunny skies during the afternoon. Most likely we'll be under a wind advisory on Friday. Winds gusting 40 to 50, maybe 55. A few scattered afternoon thunderstorms and then cooling down a bit, but not bad as we head into the weekend with highs in the 50s.
Loving those temps. Artists of all ages and abilities gathered at Pittsburgh State University today for the 5th annual Artist Trading Card event. The event, hosted by Kappa Pi and the Art Honorary Society, featured a display of trading cards turned into works of art. As you see, creators had the opportunity to swap cards with others, encouraging a community celebration of creativity.
It's kind of fast and furious because everyone's really excited when you get here, and then it's like, I better trade my cards fast or else, maybe the selection won't be as strong. So I would say it kind of wrapped up in an hour.
Yeah, some beautiful works of art there. The event held at Porter Hall Galleries provided platforms for local artists to connect and share their artwork. Nice idea.
Yeah.
Good interactive activity. The final sports notes.
Well, the first day of state tournament play didn't really go the way we were hoping for our local teams. We get another chance at it tomorrow, though. We have 3 of our local teams in action: Galena boys basketball, and then the girls from Colgan and Labette County. All 3 of them play tomorrow.
Wow. Afternoon, evening?
Afternoon into the evening.
Okay, so we'll find out some results perhaps during the 6 o'clock news. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.